Today in the garage, we're replacing the radiator cooling fan in this 2015 big Dodge Grand Caravan. It'll work for a lot of years of the Caravan and also Town and Country. We're going to remove the upper radiator hose from the radiator. So I'm using my hose pinch-off pliers. I'll leave a link in the video description to clamp off the radiator hose so no fluid comes from the engine out the radiator hose. Then I use a pair of pliers or hose clamp pliers if you've got them to back the spring clamp off so that I can remove the hose. Once you've got the hose clamp backed off, just wiggle the hose. You may need to use a pick to break it free, but just wiggle it back and forth and get it off the radiator. A little bit will drip out, so I have a pan underneath. Then once you get the hose off, you can remove the engine cover if you haven't already. Pop the hose retainer off the intake manifold cover and push the hose up out of the way. Now we're going to remove the coolant overflow tank by disconnecting the hose from the neck of the radiator, unclamp it from the top of the fan shroud, and then snake the hose out from underneath the wire harness, lift up on the coolant tank, get it clear of the radiator. It's not a big deal to remove. Now we're going to remove the wire harness from the fan. This is the connector at the top on the passenger side. And then if you look back along the harness, you can see that it's connected to the fan shroud in a couple of places. Mine's already been removed once, so I use zip ties to get it back, because when you take those Christmas tree connectors off, they're probably going to break. So either remove the Christmas tree fasteners that are holding the wire harness onto the fan, or cut your zip ties, or whatever. Disconnect the electrical connector with a red pull tab you need to slide back, and then depress the little button on the connector to get it free. To get the radiator fan off the radiator, you have to push in on these little plastic tabs. There's one on each side, and it is actually what's holding the radiator fan into position behind the radiator. So you're going to push one down and then lift up on the passenger side, and then push the other one in, lift up on the driver's side to get it to come out. So this is what it looks like. You're pushing in the tab and pulling up at the same time just to get it free, and then once it's free, you can start working it out. And it's a little bit of a gymnastics to get it around some of the tubing on one side and some of the plastic on the other side. Just be really slow, careful, gentle. Pull it about halfway up, and then you're going to stop because you've got one more electrical connector you have to disconnect. Just take your time. You don't want to break anything. You see that white connector there? That is what actually did most of hanging up the radiator for being able to pull it free. You just had to massage it and work everything around, just being careful. Get it about halfway up, and now that red connector, the tab of it, there's a connector there right in the middle for the fan motor. And it's easier to get access to it once you pull the fan halfway up, but you just slide that red tab back from the connector, which would be up towards you, and then you can depress the little button or lever inside the connector to release it from the fan. I tried to use a pick or a screwdriver to get that tab to come up, and in the end what worked out best for me was my fingernails. So whatever you need to do to get it free, and you can set the harness aside and pull the fan out from behind the radiator. All right, with the old fan out, let's go ahead and take a look. The new one on the left, the old one on the right. This one is the OEM from the factory. The label doesn't have the part number on it, but I will put it in the video description. And this is what it looks like. But then the new one is a Dorman. I'll leave a link in the video description. This one's part number 621028. They look the same on the front. You've got that resistor that I replaced in a separate video on the other fan. And they look the same on the back with one exception. You can see that the wire connector for the motor is standing freely on these two wires, versus on the original fan, the connector is directly connected to the motor itself. So I think there's goods and bads with that. The good side with the Dorman way of doing it is that connector is higher up, and so I think you'll probably be able to reach it and disconnect and reconnect it without having to pull the fan up off the radiator first. The downside is that maybe with those wires, they're not going to get cut by the radiator or the fan blades, but they are, loose or free. They could get damaged, I guess. So we'll have to see if that becomes a problem later. But the form is the same. The fit should be the same. Let's get this one back in there. Just essentially going in reverse for pulling it out. While we have the fan out, to show you the bottom of the radiator, there are clips
or slots on both sides, and that is where the bottom of the fan will fit into. So when you slide this in, make sure that the bottom of the fan slips into those slots on each side. You're going to fit into these, I don't know, I'll call them cups, but you fit them in up here, and then as you push it down, you'll hear a lovely click, and that is when it gets these clips actually come out and secure your radiator fan, and that's what is actually holding everything in place are these two clips. And so the process for putting the fan back in is this reverse of removing it. Wiggle and finagle it so that it gets all the way down up against the radiator. The bottom pegs or guides on the fan fit into those slots. Same for at the top. Those clips click into place. Then you mate your two electrical connectors with the Dorman, with the connector being up higher. You can mate it before you get it fully installed, or you can wait and connect your wire to the motor after you've got it all the way installed. So I did struggle a bit with that connector on the motor, and that is because it was a very tight fit. So you can definitely reach down and connect and disconnect that connector given where it's located without having to pull it up first. But given how tight it was to make the connection, I really needed to have the fan up higher so I could get better leverage on holding the connector in place to get it all lined up to make the connection. But it does fit, it does work, but it may be a tight fit for you. And then also hook up the connection for that resistor on the fan itself. Put in your coolant tank, connect that up. And then put your radiator hose back on, and you should be good to go. So call me paranoid, but I'm going to take a zip tie and just tie off the connector to the wire run right next to the engine, just to make sure it stays pulled away from the fan. I don't know if you would have to worry about this if you weren't using zip ties to hold your harness to the fan versus the factory connectors, but consider when you install this fan if you don't need to secure the connector away from the fan to make sure the fan blades don't hit it. And with it secured like that, I can spin the fan blades and it's not hitting the connector at all. So it just makes me feel better.
And the fan is running great. The installation is complete. Hopefully this video has been helpful. Questions, comments, leave them below. Give me a thumbs up if you like the video. That helps the channel a lot. Consider subscribing, and until the next video, take care and have a good one.